Caitlin Clark displayed equal enthusiasm for collaborating with Stephanie White, the new coach of the Indiana Fever, who appeared excited about the opportunity to work with the WNBA superstar. Clark spoke highly of White on Monday during her official introduction as the franchise's new head coach at a press conference held at Gainbridge Fieldhouse. "We acknowledge her legendary status in Indiana," Clark told reporters, as reported by ESPN. "I believe that is very impressive. When competing against her, I noticed that her teams consistently deployed the most skilled scouts to assess us. This demonstrates her comprehension of the game and her analytical perspective, suggesting that she was truly onto something. Now that she understands how to counter our strategies, we hope this knowledge will also help her overcome certain challenges." White, a native of Indiana, played high school basketball in the state before pursuing her college career at Purdue. She was chosen 21st overall in the 1999 WNBA draft by the now-defunct Charlotte Sting. The new Fever head coach played for the organization for 4 years during her playing career and subsequently served as an assistant coach under Lynn Dunn when they won the 2012 WNBA title. White had previously held the position of head coach for the franchise for 2 seasons in 2015 and 2016, and he had coached the Connecticut Sun for the 2 seasons preceding that. White will mentor one of the most prominent figures in women's basketball during what he has described as a significant period for women's athletics. "This is the moment we have been anticipating, so I am unsure if you have prepared for it as thoroughly as you embrace it. Embrace our current situation," White stated regarding coaching during this critical period for the WNBA in an interview on NBA Today. "Consider the momentum we have built, envisioning our aspirations for the league and our ongoing goals for its advancement. Simply embrace this moment and embrace this opportunity. Continue to support this team and franchise in enhancing our capabilities and positioning ourselves for success." Despite having made a significant impact in the WNBA with the Indiana Fever and forming friendships along the way, Caitlin Clark continues to cherish her Iowa roots. No, it is not exclusively centered on her romantic relationships. Because her boyfriend, Connor McCaffrey, who is busy with the Butler Bulldogs, was unavailable to greet her. However, the 2024 Rookie of the Year has been keen to return and reconnect with her friends. The 3-time Big Ten champions, Clark, Gabby Marshall, and Kate Martin, participated in a discussion with Jada Jayamfi. Discussing her recent activities, the Fever number 22 shared, "It has been pleasant to have a brief respite. The season was enjoyable, but I have been eagerly counting the days until I return to Iowa City. This demonstrates her affection for both the city and her Hawkeyes team. I have been counting the days. Last Thursday, I reflected, just one more week, and then next Thursday, I'll be there. Once Monday passed, I felt energized," she acknowledged. However, her boyfriend, Connor, is currently out of town. He is currently in Indianapolis, beginning a new chapter as an assistant coach at Butler University. This action introduces a level of conflict. With him now part of Butler in the Atlantic 10 and Iowa in the Big Ten, they could potentially become rivals at some point in the tournament. Fever's number 22 seems to handle her loyalty with ease. She is ready to support both colleges, however, it is clear that her loyalty lies predominantly with Iowa. How do we know this? She quickly traveled to Iowa and transitioned into reunion mode with her closest friends. Let's be honest, that is her alma mater, essentially her second home. From creating TikTok videos to engaging in conversations on Jayamfi's podcast Fresh Talk, she is enjoying every moment reconnecting with her friends. Since graduating from college, she, Martin, and Marshall have pursued different paths. Clark is excelling in the WNBA, Kate is contributing significantly with the Las Vegas Aces, and Gabby is furthering her education. Yet, despite their unique paths, these 3 have grown closer than ever. The Fever star has a deep affection for her former teammates, and the feeling is reciprocated. They often express their affection through social media. And now, they are finally reunited. However, that does not hinder the reigning Roddy from supporting her boyfriend. The basketball star traveled to Indianapolis to watch Connor's team compete in Butler's exhibition game, where they secured a decisive victory with a score of 72-65. With that initial victory secured, his coaching journey began with remarkable momentum, while the defending National Player of the Year was present on the sidelines. Additionally, during Butler's NCAA season opener against Missouri State, she was observed in the stands at Hinkle Fieldhouse, proudly supporting alongside Connor's brother, Jack McCaffrey. A co-host of the Bulldog Bark podcast has confirmed Clark's attendance at the game. Even after Connor secured the job in September, the rookie star continued to be one of his most enthusiastic supporters. "I am very excited for him," she stated. Since his playing days at Iowa and his time with the Indiana Pacers, Caitlin has been a steadfast supporter throughout his journey. Therefore, regardless of whether it entails hundreds of miles or a busy schedule, the Hooper is dedicated to going the extra mile, ensuring that no distance hinders her from supporting her favorite individuals. The Indiana Fever had a noteworthy season, finishing with a 20-20 record and securing a playoff spot, thus ending a 7-year drought. Undoubtedly, the impressive trio of Caitlin Clark, Kelsey Mitchell, and Aaliyah Boston paved the way. Despite this remarkable turnaround, head coach Stephanie White acknowledges that an essential element is missing from the Fever's roster for them to achieve true greatness. When asked about her priorities for regaining the level of success the team achieved in 2012, she emphasized that there's never a substitute for experience. She observed that although the young roster acquired valuable insights this season, the lack of playoff experience constitutes a notable gap, one that the team could focus on addressing during the offseason. Possessing playoff experience is crucial. "You simply cannot be aware of what you are unaware of," she emphasized, highlighting the importance of players learning from the challenges faced during the postseason. Together with President Kelly Krauskopf, both are committed to enhancing the roster. Furthermore, they have already initiated the planning process. "Amber, Kelly, and I discussed player evaluations before our arrival here, and enhancing the quality of depth will be essential," the new head coach stated at the introductory press conference. This is their first major challenge since taking on their roles. The core trio, Clark, Mitchell, and Boston, has shown promise. CC has been performing outstandingly, with an average of 19.2 points, 8.4 assists and 5. Averaging 7 rebounds per game, she has quickly established herself and is currently ranked 4th in the MVP voting. Simultaneously, Kelsey Mitchell contributed 19.2 points and 2.5 rebounds. 2023 Rookie of the Year Aaliyah Boston averaged 14 points and 8 rebounds. 9 rebounds in addition to functioning as a defensive anchor. However, with Boston entering last year, Clark this season, and Mitchell uncertain about his future with Indiana, they continue to experience some growing pains. How can the Fever strengthen their lineup with essential experience? These two significant additions could be game changers for Indiana. Natasha Howard and Sato Sabally could provide the playoff experience and skills essential for the team. Natasha Howard has been a formidable presence in the league for 10 years, securing 3 WNBA championships. In 2024, her average was 17.6 points, 6.7 rebounds, 2.9 assists and 1.3 steals in 27 games with the Dallas Wings. In addition to her scoring ability, she contributes a defensive intensity that could greatly benefit the Fever. Having led the Seattle Storm to a championship through key steals and blocks, she is proficient in executing clutch plays. Next, we have Sato Sabally, another exceptional player from the Dallas Wings. She documented an average of 17.9 points, 6.4 rebounds and 5.0 assists for the 2024 season. Her versatility as a forward positions her as a dual threat. In 2023, she reached a career high of 40 points in a game that guaranteed a playoff spot for the Wings. Recruiting her would strengthen the team's offensive capabilities, especially with CC contributing assists. Although fans perceive her chances as lower than Howard's, the outcome remains uncertain. Experience may be the essential component they require, but once they attain it, they will become formidable on the court. Making an appearance on Saturday Night Live is a dream come true for any American. On the day Caitlin Clark achieved this milestone, she completed a significant item on her bucket list. A surprise appearance in which she playfully teased anchor Michael Che, who had just moments earlier joked about Iowa retiring CC's jersey and aprons. The Fever number 22 was the first women's basketball player to appear on the show, specifically one who had not yet been drafted. While the experience was enjoyable for audiences, Clark encountered an eventful journey that day. During her reunion with former Hawkeyes teammates Gabby Marshall, Kate Martin, and Jada Gyamfi on Fresh Talk with Jada Gyamfi, the reigning Rookie of the Year reflected on the whirlwind month of April. "I do not remember the trip to New York for the draft. I slept for 2 hours and I have never experienced anything like that in my life," Clark explained. The former Hawkeyes guard traveled nationwide to receive the Wooden Award for the second consecutive year. In fact, during that period, the Des Moines native had no chance to rest. She has been playing for the Hawkeyes consistently since September 2023. She was subsequently drafted, and after a one-week training camp, Clark began her rookie season with Indiana. "I felt awful because I was in Los Angeles. I flew from LA to New York in the morning, landed, and went directly to SNL. I felt like the final skit on SNL. SNL was enjoyable," she continued. She engaged in lighthearted banter with Che about his comedic skills and women's sports, ultimately having the anchor read aloud the blind jokes she had created. The third highlighted the achievement as Che read, "This year, Caitlin Clark set a new record for three-pointers in a single season, and I have 3 points for Michael Che. 1. B. 2. More entertaining. 3. Doomba." For as long as she can remember, Caitlin Clark has looked up to Maya Moore. Witnessing the former Minnesota Lynx player perform live at games sparked her enthusiasm for playing basketball. Her first visit to a WNBA game was to watch the four-time WNBA champions. Although Sheryl Swoopes has not consistently praised the Rookie of the Year and has provided more criticism, on that day in April, Clark recognized these two women alongside other pioneers of the game. "I'm confident this will be a significant first step for me, but it's just one step for the WNBA. I owe thanks to all the great players like Sheryl Swoopes, Lisa Leslie, Cynthia Cooper, the remarkable Dawn Staley, and my basketball hero, Maya Moore," stated the Fever rookie. "These are the women who dismantled barriers, enabling me to enter through the door. I would like to extend my gratitude to them this evening for laying the foundation." Stephanie White is back in Indiana. After sweeping the Fever in the first round of the playoffs with the Connecticut Sun, there is perhaps no one better suited to lead the team to success now. Bonus points to White for having played and coached in Indy before, and that too with the most famous jersey number in women's basketball right now. So who's the better number 22, Caitlin Clark or Stephanie White? In order to be regarded, we have only just witnessed the commencement of CeCe's professional era, despite her past in Iowa being fully disclosed for those who may question it. However, even White, who retired in 2004 after a career spanning 2 decades, concurs on who wears the number 22 better. While on the Athletic Women's Basketball Show, the coach confidently stated, "There is no question as to who the top player is. The history of the Fever is 22 years old. Please refrain from using this one. It is unlikely that there is another player like her." However, despite this, she still has one advantage over Clark. She mentioned that she believes her arms were more muscular in the pictures, so she suggested they work on getting Clark into a weight room. One of her standout skills on the court is her speed. However, she has made attempts to increase her muscle mass in the past. During the month of July, Aaliyah Boston, the forward for Fever, shared a TikTok video showcasing her teammates in the gym. The focal point of the video was Clark's performance of leg lifts at the conclusion. "I am aiming for 140 pounds, okay?" states the Iowa sensation as they speak directly into the camera. She did not lift the machine at all, but she did state that she gained 8 pounds of muscle during her time in Indiana. White acknowledges that there is room for improvement and remains confident in her abilities. The new head coach, who may be returning to the team, is aware of the specific area that needs attention in order to replicate the success achieved with the reigning Rookie of the Year. In conclusion, the other players are focusing on player number. Throughout the season, there has been a prevalent narrative surrounding 22's slender physique, prompting Clark to address this following the Olympic break. Stephanie White served as an assistant coach for the Fever during their championship win in 2012 and as head coach when they were runner-ups in 2015. It goes without saying that she possesses a keen understanding of the elements required for a team to achieve championship-level performance. She may choose to spotlight a prominent player in the sport currently. Clark, targeted by multiple teams this season, faced fouls and pushes, notably from Trinity Carter during the Chicago Sky's initial game against the Fever. After 3.5 weeks, she disclosed to reporters that she had been engaging in a fitness regimen to gain some weight. I may be petite, but I strive to assert myself to the best of my abilities, expressed the novice with determination. I believe I possess strength in a subtle, understated manner. I do not foresee myself becoming the most physically strong individual. I am aware of that information. I am actively pursuing weight gain by diligently engaging in strength training sessions. There are limitations to what I can do during the season, but over the past 3 weeks, we have been consistently working hard in the weight room. The head coach now has the entire off-season to train the young team and mold them into the desired shape, positioning herself at a crucial point in women's sports. It is possible that Caitlin Clark's second year as a professional could be markedly improved compared to her debut year. The idea of a European vacation is a desirable aspiration. It appears that Caitlin Clark, regarded as a generational talent, is not on board due to a specific reason. In preparation for the NCAA season last year, the Iowa Hawkeyes traveled to Italy and Croatia for a series of 3 exhibition games. Caitlin Clark, accompanied by her friends Gabby Marshall, Kate Martin, and Jada Jayamfi, embarked on a journey to explore various countries as expected. During their time in Croatia, the point guard confronted a fear, while Martin had an enjoyable interaction. During the latest episode of Fresh Talk with Jada Jayamfi, Clark recounted a terrifying experience that could be described as her worst nightmare, while Martin shared a heartwarming incident that filled her with pride as an aunt. Viewers gained insight into the differences between the two. The only negative aspect was the presence of the cats. I strongly dislike cats, and they were seen scurrying all over the place. Do you recall the time when we dined al fresco at that particular restaurant? I believe we dined at a Mexican restaurant located in a quaint alleyway one evening. A cat unexpectedly darted under my feet, causing me to feel alarmed and anxious. Clark expressed that her visit to Croatia evoked strong emotions that brought her to tears. Oh my goodness. There was an abundance of cats everywhere you turned. Clark expressed that such a scenario would have been her worst nightmare, emphasizing her disdain for cats. Caitlin Clark had no idea that her best friend Kate Martin had a surprising story to share about her newfound affection for cats. I recently became an aunt to a cat. My brother recently adopted a kitten named Susie, who is undoubtedly the most adorable feline I have ever laid eyes on. Upon inquiring whether he had picked it up, he confirmed that he had done so. Martin explained that his sister's dog, Sunny, was named after his grandmother's nickname, Sunshine. When they acquired a cat, they named it Susie after their other grandmother, Sue. Nevertheless, their relationship remained strong. Clark and Martin developed an unbreakable bond during their time playing for the Iowa Hawkeyes. The pair competed in consecutive national championship finals, further solidifying their bond. Following the draft, Clark was selected as the top pick for the Indiana Fever in the WNBA, while Martin was chosen by the Las Vegas Aces in the second round. Prior to Indiana's game against the Aces in July, the standout player was questioned about her relationship with Martin. 22 revealed that she maintains daily communication with Martin via text, exchanging advice on achieving success in their respective careers in the league. Describing Martin as one of her closest companions, Clark highlighted the importance of mutual support and attentive listening in their friendship, as reported by Sporting News. Additionally, Clark shared her experiences in Italy, which demonstrated her concern for Martin. Clark and Amp Company had finished as the second-place runner in the previous season. As a result, they competed in exhibition matches against highly skilled teams. Her squad competed against Team Slammers, KK Trzeznjevka 2009, and the Croatian All-Stars, emerging victorious in all 3 matches. Regrettably, they had a close call while in Italy, as disclosed by the former NCAA queen on the podcast. It was a moment where they feared for their lives, as they had to navigate around a rock and dive under it to safety. Failure to meet the specified threshold meant certain failure. I also had to swim back. I am thinking, I cannot continue with this. This is a workout, Clark remarked, gesturing towards Martin.